Alright, 9B. Like I said, these will be 10B in 2020, not 2017. So next year, these will become part of 10B. Like I said, all they're doing next year is flipping SOL 9 and SOL 10. 10's about the judicial branch. It's going to be moving to SOL 9, and then what we're learning now, we'll just go to SOL 10. Just changing the numbers. The information is still the same. Alright, go back. Alright, 9B, understanding. It says individuals and interest groups influence public policy. Individuals and interest groups influence public policy. Public policy's laws. Individuals can influence laws. Interest groups can influence laws. This got mentioned in SOL 6C and in 7C. Now we're going to discuss it just a little bit more. We talked a little bit about it when we talked about how laws were made. We talked about the steps: introduce, committee, debate, vote, president, or governor. We said in those notes that individuals can influence laws. And I asked you guys how. And you all were able to name me some ways as to how I, as an individual, can influence laws. I can talk to my leaders. I can make a phone call. Okay, I can vote for different leaders. All those things are mentioned. And then interest groups. We talked a little bit about interest groups. We talked about the National Rifle Association and what they do to influence laws. So what we're going to look at today is what can I do as an individual to influence laws, and what can an interest group do to influence laws. And this is just adding on to what we looked at in SOL 6 and 7. And these are not very long, like 5 or 6 slides. Okay, good? All right. Terms of very, very, very important definition. The word is lobbying. Typically when I say something is very, very, very important, why do I say that? Where does it typically show up?
If you have any work to send to ISS, will you send it for those two? They're not doing anything.
All right. I'll click down as soon as I can. It's very important because they like to put it on the end of your test. So lobbying, you need to know this definition. Lobbying. It says to seek to influence legislators to introduce or vote for or against a bill. Very important definition. Lobbying is really one of 3 things that it says right here in this definition. Number 1, I think there needs to be a law passed about something. Okay, whatever that something is, it doesn't matter. If I think there needs to be a law and I contact my officials and say, hey, I think this law needs to be introduced, that's called lobbying. I'm giving them an idea. If I think there is a law that Congress has that I agree with, and I contact them and say, I agree with this law, you should pass it, that's called lobbying. If I think there is a law that I don't like that they've got introduced and I want them to vote against it, that's called lobbying. Okay? So lobbying is when you try to influence your legislators in some way. Okay? It doesn't matter how, you're just trying to influence them. Again, remember I said you guys were Congress. At the start of the year, you guys are my legislative branch, Jasmine. Okay? You all are the legislative branch. If you guys have introduced a law and I don't like it, and I contact you and say, I don't like this law, and here's why, what's that called?
Lobbying.
It's called lobbying. What if I like the law?
It's called lobbying.
It's called lobbying. What if you hadn't even come up with the idea, but I give you an idea, and I say, hey, you all need to introduce this? It's called lobbying. Okay? We're going to find out that interest groups will hire people whose job it is to do what?
Lobbying.
To lobby. You know what they're called? Lobbyists. Because their job is to lobby Congress. To go to Congress, meet with them and tell them why they need to introduce a law, why they need to vote for it, or why they need to vote against it. Okay? So make sure you know that definition, lobbying. And a person who does it is called a lobbyist. Everybody got it? Alright. So ways individuals can influence public policy. What can I do as an individual to influence public policy? Again, public policy just means laws. What can I do as Mr. Wilson, civics teacher at J.W. Adams? What can I do to influence the laws that we have in America or even in the state of Virginia? One thing that I can do is I can participate in politics. I can get involved. Again, SOL 5, the next thing we're going to look at is all about politics. Gosh, it's one of my favorite ones we go over. It's all about politics. We're going to learn about politics, SOL 5. I can participate. What can I do to participate? I vote. I vote for my leaders. If I don't like the laws that you're making, I vote for someone else. I vote for someone who will make the laws that I agree with. So I vote. Do I vote on the laws?
No.
No. Congress does that. The General Assembly does that. I just vote for the people. If I don't like the laws that you are making, I vote for new people. Second thing I can do is I can campaign. I can help people run for office. Okay? If I don't like the laws that Jimmy is making, okay, for one, I won't vote for Jimmy. I'll vote for someone else, and I will help that someone else run for office. I'll put signs for that person in my yard. I might put a sticker on my car to try to help that person win. Maybe I'll wear a t-shirt. Maybe I'll do whatever I need to do to help that person win. That's called campaigning. We'll talk about that in SOL 5. Or, if I really want to influence the laws that we have, I run for office myself. I run for office, because if I run for office and I win, what do I get to do? Well, I get to go in office. What's one of the things we get to do in office? I can make the laws. Okay? I can run for office and be responsible for making the laws myself. And I know I'm going to be making the laws that I like. Okay? So those are some things that I can do as an individual. I can vote for people who will make the laws that I like. I can campaign to try to help that person win. Or I can just run for office myself. So participate in politics. The next thing I can do is I can join an interest group. I can join a group of people that share my interests. Okay? If I am interested in something, if I feel strong enough about something, I can join an interest group. Okay, I've mentioned the National Rifle Association because it's the one that seems to get the most coverage in the media, the most publicity, whether it's good or bad. But there's all kinds of interest. There's education interest groups. Okay, there's interest groups for teachers. Okay, I can join an interest group that tries to help teachers get stuff passed that will help us, whatever that may be. Obviously there's gun interest groups. There's interest groups for doctors. There's interest groups for the elderly. Have you ever heard of the AARP? Yeah. What does it stand for? The something American Association of Retired Persons. I think is what it stands for. That is an interest group that's designed to help the elderly. Okay, to make sure we have laws and things in government that protect old people. Okay, there's an interest group. Their job is to protect the interests of old people, of the elderly. Try to make sure that they're taken care of and they're protected. So we have interest groups for all different types of topics, all different types of groups. There's coal interest groups. Their job is to make sure we have laws that are passed that protect coal. There's the opposite. You've got environmental interest groups whose job it is to try to protect the environment and make sure the laws that we have protect the environment. So you can join an interest group. Why might I join an interest group rather than just do these things on my own?
So that you can have more people?
That's it. There's more people. There's thousands and thousands, maybe even millions of people in an interest group. And which is stronger, me by myself or a group of thousands? A group of thousands is stronger and has more influence. Everybody get that?
Yeah.
All right. Next, individuals and interest groups influence public policy by. So now we're going to look at what can I and an interest group do to influence public policy. It's just law. individuals and interest groups influence public policy by? Number one, identify the issues. Interest groups identify issues. A lot like the media. Okay, we just learned in 9A, the media will focus our attention. If something is going on and the news wants our attention focused on it, they'll run that every day in the news. Okay? When I get a newspaper, how do I know what the main issue is of the day? Where's it at? It's on the front. When I watch the news at night, how do I know what the main issue is of the day?
It's going to be the first thing.
It's the first thing on the news. Well, if the news wants to stress that, they'll put it first every day of the week. Every day it's the same story over and over and over again. So now I'm focused on it. Interest groups can do the same thing. If there's something that's going on that they want you to identify and focus on, they'll continue to put that out for us to see. So like the NRA as an interest group, they're going to identify whether or not there are laws or things going on that impact gun owners. And they're going to make sure we know about it. They're going to identify what the issue is. Like right now, I guess the latest thing I've heard on guns is Walmart has decided to no longer sell ammunition. You can't buy bullets at Walmart anymore. Well, to the NRA, to a group like that, that's a problem. That's an issue. And they want to let the people of their group know, hey, you can't go to Walmart anymore. So what the NRA will do is they'll try to encourage their members to do what? Not go to Walmart, but buy your stuff somewhere else. Obviously, you can't buy your bullets at Walmart. They're going to try to get you, hey, don't buy anything at Walmart. Buy your stuff somewhere else. But then you've also got a group out there that doesn't like guns. So what are they going to do? They're going to promote Walmart and say, look how good Walmart is. They're trying to cut back on violence. They're trying to cut this stuff out by not selling ammunition anymore. We need to thank Walmart for thinking about our safety by eliminating their ammunition, and we should buy our stuff at Walmart as a way of saying, hey, thanks for doing this on your own. Walmart, you didn't have to do that, but you did. So both sides are going to play that to their advantage. One group's going to say, we don't like this Walmart, go somewhere else and buy your stuff. The other group's going to say, we do like this Walmart, go buy your stuff at Walmart. So it just depends on which side you're on.
Is that every Walmart or just one?
I think it's all of them. I think it's all across the country. Next is they will make political contributions, which is what that picture's all about. They'll donate money. They donate money to people that support their views. And to give you an example, I'll keep using the NRA as an example because it's one that we can associate with. Even if you don't agree with it, you know what they're, we live in an area where people have guns, and you can at least associate with it. I'm not saying you agree with them. Like I said, I don't own a gun myself, okay? But I'm fine if you do. I just don't have one. I don't want to spend the money on one. What the NRA will do is this, okay? The NRA will give money to candidates who support what?
Guns.
Who support guns, okay? If Hannah is running for office and she supports guns, and she's going to vote for gun owners, the NRA will make contributions to her campaign. Okay, and we'll talk all about this in SOL 5 as well. They want Hannah to win her election because if she wins, she's going to vote in favor of guns. Well, one thing that will help her win is more money. Again, we'll learn about this in SOL 5. You need a lot of money to run for office. Groups like the NRA will donate money to her campaign, which means she can buy more signs, she can buy more commercials on TV, and do all of that stuff because they're providing money for her. What will the NRA expect in return from Hannah?
That she votes for guns.
That she votes for guns. They don't want money back. They just want her to show her support for gun owners. That's it. So groups will make contributions. They will donate money to people who they know will help their cause because they want those people to win. Now the opposite will also happen. There's an interest group that's anti-gun. They're going to give their money to someone who will vote anti-gun to try to help that person win their election. Okay? And if Hannah does win and she doesn't vote for guns, then that group that gave her money is going to say, look, we're going to cut that off. We're going to send that lobbyist to meet with Hannah, okay, say, Hannah, look, we donated millions of dollars for your campaign. You're not showing your support. Next election, we're not giving you any money, okay? So we're going to give that money somewhere else, somebody else, and we're going to make sure that everyone knows you didn't support us, and we're going to vote you out. Now, whether or not it happens or not, we have to wait till election day, but that's what they're going to do. Next, they lobby their officials. Okay, you send people to go talk and try to get laws passed or not passed, depending on whether or not they support your cause or not. If Hannah's going to vote for guns, they're going to lobby her and say, look, vote for guns. You know, we've got so many voters that voted for you. We gave you so much money. Support our cause. You said you were going to support our cause. Support our cause. Vote for this law or against this law. Whatever, however we feel, you need to vote that way. We're going to find out in SOL 5 that a lot of people don't like it. Because what begins to happen is our government, Hannah's not making decisions for Hannah. Hannah's not making the decisions for the people of her state. Hannah makes decisions based on what? What the interest group wants. Rather than Hannah supporting America or Hannah supporting her state, Hannah is supporting the interest group because they gave her money. And that kind of becomes a problem in America if our legislative branch is making decisions for interest groups instead of the good of America. Again, we'll talk about that in SOL 5. Next thing you can do is you can express your opinion. Let them know what you think. I can let Hannah know, or the interest group can let Hannah know what our opinion is. We can lobby, which we've talked all about in this section, lobby. We can demonstrate, protest. Okay, petition, we talked about that in SOL 3. One of your First Amendment freedoms is petition. And you can protest and demonstrate, do those types of things. You can write letters or send an email. I did that one time. I think I've shared this story with you, haven't I?
Yep.
Where I had to email a member of the General Assembly about a school law that was being proposed. I had to do it for a grade, and normally it's the only time I've ever done it. You can use social media, and oh boy, do people use social media today to let everyone know their views. It's one of the reasons why I had to get off Facebook. I got tired of reading what everybody thought. I realized I didn't care what you thought, so I stayed away. But people like to use social media to express their opinion. How many times do people get on social media and complain or praise the president?
I can't even think.
It's all, every day, all the time. Donald Trump's the worst person ever. He should be impeached. And you'll see that on there if you get on there somewhere. Or Donald Trump's a great president. He's making America great. I'm voting for Trump 2020. It's all you see on social media. And it may not be the people you follow, but if you get on like the news, like if you follow like CNN on Facebook, or if you follow Fox News and you read comments, that's all people are saying. Trump's evil. Trump's the worst president ever. Or Trump's great. I'm voting for him again. He's doing what he said he would do, and I'm voting for him again. Trump 2020. It's all you see. People expressing their opinion on social media. So, like I said, if you don't want to see that stuff, you stay off, which is what I did for years. I just got tired of it. The heck with it. I'm not going to get on there anymore. Or people complain about their life.
Mom moved through. Sorry.
It's bad. I can't stand my job. My job's terrible. Blah blah blah. Or I can't stand this person. They did that. What's going on down here with wherever? What's going on in Panama? What's going on up here? Who's making these decisions? Blah blah. That's all it is. People complaining and people wanting attention. And so I was like, you know what? I don't want to read about people complaining. Bad enough. You have to deal with it face to face, let alone on social media. So. Then I just adopted the philosophy, you know what, if I don't like you, if I don't care what you have to say, I just don't follow you anymore. I don't have to have so many friends or followers on Facebook. I'll keep up with the people I want to keep up with, and that's it. So, everybody got it? That's it. That is all. The key thing to know though, okay, the key. Okay, I'm going to tell you the key thing out of 9B. Lobbying. Know what lobbying means. I promise it's gonna show up on my test, okay? I promise it'll show up on my test. On one of the old release tests that I have, okay, from like the test from like 2010, some of the release tests, there was one SOL test that we took one year where there were 2 questions about lobbying on the test, okay? I said I can say that because it was on a release test. You all may take that as a practice test here towards the end of the year. They asked 2 questions about lobbying. It's almost always on. It's a very important thing to know because it goes with how laws are made and what we can do. Any questions about any of that? All right, let's take a bathroom break.